What's up, fragrance connoisseurs? We're going to continue our fall fragrance collection, and today we're going to talk about the note of amber. So just sit back, relax as we give you station identification, and we'll get into the top amber fragrances in my collection. All right, fragrance connoisseurs, we're going to talk about the note of amber. Amber is not an actual note. However, it is a name that's given to a category of scents, or it's basically an accord. It's used to describe the amber accord that signifies the form of the tree sap or fossilized resin that is imitated by the blend of vanilla, benzoin, and labdanum. Vanilla, which comes from the vanilla bean, benzoin, which comes from a gum resin made from the sap of the styrax tree, and then the labdanum resin or cistus oil comes from the Mediterranean cistus plant. The amber accord combines notes that are warm, rich, sweet, and spicy. It really gives you a nice, warm, cozy feel. It's a great fragrance note that we utilize in the fall and winter fragrances that we have. And so I wanted to bring a fall collection that mainly gives you the note of amber as its main accord. So this is a combination of notes that tends to smell kind of musky, spicy, sweet, and then it's complemented with woods oftentimes. So we'll get right into it. First up, I have a sample that I just put as an honorable mention, and this is Doza by Narcotica. This one is a really nice scent that I've just started getting into. I will talk about it more later. It will be in my list of fragrances that I plan to get very shortly. The next one I want to talk about is an economical and affordable fragrance by Lattafa, and this is Ragba Wood Intense. So this one, I don't think that it is a dupe of anything. I know Lattafa is mainly known for clones or dupe fragrances. I don't know if this is a dupe. I know this is kind of an intense flanker of the Ragba fragrance by Lattafa. I got it because it was highly recommended by a lot of people, and as the name implies, wood intense, it is very wood dominant. This one is an amber base, and you can kind of see by the color that's in it. It does have kind of that ambery hue. It's a little lighter than maybe some of the darker ambers, but it is a really, really good fragrance, especially for the money that you're going to pay for it. It smells designer. It doesn't smell like a cheap clone or anything like that. It has basic woods all the way through. Caramel, it has some sweetness, but the woods really take over. So there's Gaiac wood, there's cedar, and there is supposedly oud in this. This doesn't have any type of barnyard or skanky type vibe to it. It does have sandalwood and cashmere wood, so it has a lot of wood. And then in the base, it has incense, vanilla, amber, oak moss, and musk. It does play 50-50 with the woods, with the oak moss and the cedar and the sandalwood, along with that amber type note and accord, but it's a really nice fragrance. I think it's a really good buy, especially for the money. I believe I got it right at about $25, and it lasts 6 to 8 hours on your skin, and it projects for 2 to 3 hours really well. Next, we'll start with a designer by Issey Miyake, and it's L'Eau d'Issey Bourgogne Noir Amber. And this one is a designer amber that is my favorite designer amber in my collection. I really think this one is one of the best blended designer amber fragrances that are around. It's been hard to get, but lately I think it has been better. It's spicy. It's not really sweet until you get deep into the dry down, but it starts off with cinnamon, saffron, nutmeg, coriander. Then in the mids, it has leather, cedar, and vetiver. And of course, in the base, it's going to have amber, vanilla, and tonka bean. It is very, very smooth. It's blended very well. It has a above average performance, and it is warm and inviting, and it definitely will garner compliments, and people are going to like it. I think you can't go wrong. It's like I said, it is a drier, more spicy type amber fragrance until it gets deep in the dry down, and then some of the vanilla and tonka bean come out. But you're gonna like it from beginning to end, and I think it's one that has to be in my collection as far as amber fragrances. Okay, next we're gonna go into more niche, and here is Soul Batik by Moresque. This one is really garnering a lot of attention in my collection. I've started wearing it a whole lot, and it is quickly becoming one of my favorite amber fragrances. It's definitely making it into my top 5. And this fragrance is really aromatic. It is a fresh, aromatic type amber fragrance. Something that a lot of times amber fragrances are really dense and heavy, but this one is light and fresh and airy. It starts off with cardamom and bergamot on the top, and this brings in that airiness and the aromatic nature of it. It really pushes off your skin. It is not a beast by any means. It doesn't fill a room, but people do smell it. I get a lot of compliments with it. I've been wearing it while I've been traveling, and a lot of people have noticed it, and it really is a nice aromatic fragrance that just invites people. It's a little sexy, but I really think that it is one that will not offend anyone. It's aromatic, and it does the job really well as far as being cozy and inviting. The mids are going to bring in pink pepper and geranium are some of the main notes that you're going to see, and incense also comes in there in the mid. The pink pepper gives it that little bit of spiciness. The geranium gives it a kind of green rose. And then in the base, of course, you're going to have sandalwood. You're going to have vanilla, amber, and patchouli. So in this, it has a very smooth base. It's very aromatic. It's going to get you compliments. I think it's one that everyone should look at as far as putting it in your fragrance collection. And the price is right. I got it for $89 off a fragrance buy. It's great for the price. It definitely smells a lot more quality than you're paying. It smells like higher niche, and it's one that you can wear even in the beginning of fall, like right now. Even if it gets up to 70s or something like that, it's got a fresh aromatic scent that will not become cologne. Next, coming down to my last 3, I'll start with Arabian Oud and Kalamat. These last 3, you could put them in switch up order. I mean, this one's probably my number 3. My 2 and 1, you could switch back and forth. But Kalamat, for total transparency, this is a 21 batch. I have been told, I've heard rumors that the newer batches do not perform as well, but I haven't found that out yet. I have a 21 batch, and this is performing 9 to 10 hours on skin, and it actually, if you put it on clothes, it'll last for a week. This one has a honey base, so it's an amber honey. It's a little sweeter than maybe some of the other ones that have been in my list, but it's really nice. It has a really warm and cozy feel. Again, the top actually starts off with blueberry and anise, but it has an amber, honey, and musk base. The mids bring in some cashmere woods and some floral notes and rosemary. It is a sexy fragrance. It's not too sweet. The musk kind of blends in with the honey, but the honey just doesn't make it overly sugary. But the amber and the honey and the musk really have a nice dry down. It's one that has garnered me a lot of compliments as well, and it's one of my favorite from the house Arabian Oud. Now getting down to my last, and again, like I said, I could put either one of these as number one or number two, but I will put right now as my number two, Initio. And this one is Blessed Baraka. Blessed Baraka doesn't have a lot of notes, but man, this one is really, really nice. It is a little more spicy than sweet, but it has amber, white flowers, sandalwood, vanilla, and musk. And it is a really, really sexy fragrance. Initios are always known for blending very well. And this fragrance is going to garner you plenty of compliments. It is definitely that cuddle buddy that Nate talks about all the time, being that kind of fragrance. If you want a sexy fragrance that is going to turn heads and get people to notice you, this is the one to do it. This one is going to last a long time. It projects well for 3 to 4 hours. It's going to last 9 to 10 hours on your skin. Literally, if you put it on 12 hours later, you can still smell it, even though at that time at 12 hours, it's going to be closer to your skin. But it is a projection beast. It's not what I would consider beast mode, but it's definitely above average. Getting to the last one, first I will show you that I started off with decants, and this one comes from Nate. Nate actually was one of the first people to buy this, and it's basically Mason Francis Kirkjohn Grand Swar. Now this, if you can see, again, like I said, I've been taking it from Nate at about 5 milliliters at a time. You see the juice is the same color. I was using it from his until I decided to get my own bottle, and I just had to go ahead and splurge and get it. It was on my list for a while, but because I could keep taking it from Nate, I kind of held off on buying my own bottle. But now I have my own bottle, and it is buttery smooth amber, one of the sexiest ambers that you can buy. This one will get you compliments. This one will get you attention. There is not enough I can say about it. It's sexy. It's warm. Like I said, it's buttery smooth. To me, this is the epitome of amber fragrances. In fact, when you think of amber fragrances, the first thing that comes to my mind is Grand Swar. Now, you're going to get notes of amber, vanilla, benzoin, tonka bean, labdanum, Spanish labdanum is what they say as far as this, and lavender. And this one is top of the line. You can't go wrong with Grand Swar. In fact, it is my favorite amber to date. There are a couple that I want to try as far as Ombre Sultan by Serge Luton, but I haven't gotten it yet, but it's on my list. So those are 6 and one honorable mention of the amber fragrances that I have in my collection, and ones that are the best to me as far as it being the epitome of the fall fragrance and the amber type warm and cozy feel. I hope you liked the video. I please ask if you are liking what you see, liking the type of fragrances that I put up and show you and give you an idea how to buy, to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And we will continue on this journey. We're trying to come up to 500 subscribers. That's our first thing. We're going to have a giveaway. I talked about it in another video. But when we hit 500, we will pick randomly from our first 500 subscribers and have a designer fragrance giveaway. We hope you continue to check us out. Thank you for your time. Take care. God bless.
All right, here we go. Do 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 do.